In this video, I am going to write a C program to compute the sine series of the given term x. Before we write our program, let me discuss what are all the variables I am going to use and what is the logic behind this program. So we use two input variable, that is x and n. Okay. So x is the term whose sine series we are going to compute. It is value of x is given in terms of degree. We need to convert this into its corresponding radiant value. If I want to convert this into its corresponding radiant value, I use an expression that is x into 3.14 divided by 180. Okay, so if I use this expression, if x is given in terms of degree, it will be converted into its corresponding radiant value. Then next one is n. N is total number of terms in a series. Okay, totally I have 1, 2, 3 and 4 terms. Up to this, if I want to calculate, I have 4 terms. In that case, n will be 4. That is total number of terms in the series. Okay, so x is my input and n is my input. Data type of x is, it is float. Data type of n is, it is integer. In addition to this, I use the output variable called sum. Initially, value of sum is 0. Sum is going to hold the summation of the given series. Okay. And then in addition to this input and my output variable, that is sum, during process I am going to use two variables, that is I and j. Okay. So what is I? That is position or the number of term in the series. Okay. For example, what are all the terms in the series? It is x by 1 factorial, comma, x cube by 3 factorial. Third term is x power 5 by 5 factorial. And fourth term is x power 7 by 7 factorial. Okay, so what are the position of this term? This is my first term, second term, third term and fourth term. So I is going to hold the position or number of terms. So value of I will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so initially value of I is 1. Each time it is incremented by 1. How long I need to increment? Until I is less than or equal to n. Until I becomes n, I can able to increment. Once I is greater than n, then I may terminate. And then j is going to hold. See, in this each term I am computing powers of x. Okay, here power of x is 1, power of x is 3, 5 and 7. J is going to hold the power of x. Okay, so in each time the power is 1, 3, the third time power is 5, in the fourth term power is 7. Okay, so j is going to hold the power of x. So values of j is 1, 3, 5 and 7. So initially value of j is 1. Each time value of j is incremented by 2. Okay, here initial value of I is 1. Each time the value of I is incremented by 1. I is equal to I plus 1. Now we are going to write a C program. In my C program, I am going to have three functions. One is fact, another one is sin x, and of course my main function. What this fact function is going to calculate? It is going to calculate factorial of a given number a, and it returns the integer value. Okay, this sin x function is going to compute the summation of this sine series. Okay, so to this function I need to pass inputs and it returns us some output. So input is given in terms of parameters. What are the input parameters? That is x and n. X is the term whose sine series we are supposed to compute, and n is total number of terms in this series. We are supplying this x and n as input parameter to this sin x function. The sin x function is going to return a float value which is nothing but my sum. How to compute the summation of this series? Inside my function, I am going to declare three temporary variable, that is int I and j. Int I and j. I and j is, of course, it is going to hold the integer value, so data type is integer. And then I am going to declare this sum output variable as local variable here, it is float of sum. Sum is my output variable which I am going to compute inside my function sin x. Okay, and then the data type of sum is float, okay, since it is returning the float value. Initially value of sum is 0. If I assign integer 0 to this sum, it will initialize sum as 0.0. And then I am going to use a for loop. Why I am using for loop is, repeatedly I am performing either subtraction or addition function. I am going to repeat the process. So I am using the process inside this for loop. Okay, in the for loop, I am going to use these variable I and j as loop variable. I is going to hold the position or the number of the term. Initially the value of I is 1. Okay, so I is initialized by 1. Okay, and then I am going to include two loop variable. Another one is j. Okay, j is going to hold the power of the x. I am going to compute x power some integer value. It is the power of x. Okay, initially the value of initially the value of j is 1. So j is initialized by 1. Okay, so how long I need to increment this value of I until it is equal to n. Okay, that is I less than or equal to n. Each time I is incremented by 1, how long I need to increment, that is I is less than or equal to n. Until that point of time, I need to keep on incrementing this I value. Once I is greater than n, once I becomes greater than the total number of terms, then I need to terminate. Okay, and then how to increment j? Each time the value of j is incremented by 2. So it is j equal to j plus 2. So inside this for loop, what I am going to compute? I am going to compute the sum. So what is sum? To the initial value of sum, either I am going to add or subtract. See, sometimes I am going to add. This term is added to the summation. Take this term, it is subtracted from the summation. Take the term, it is added to the summation. If I take the sum, it is subtracted from the summation. So I am going to sometime perform the addition and subtraction. When I am going to perform the addition, when I am going to perform the subtraction. Let me decide that later. First, how to add the term. What is the term? It is x power j divided by j factorial. Okay, so this x power j divided, the value is represented by j. If I compute this term, it is x power j divided by j factorial. How to compute? It is, I may use a inbuilt function power to compute this x power j, that is power of x comma j. Okay, so this power is a inbuilt function which is included in this math.header file. It is to compute x power j term. Okay, then x power j divided by, that is j factorial. Okay, how to compute factorial? By calling this function fact, I may compute factorial of the given number. Whose factorial I need to compute? It is j. So it is fact of j. So either I may add the term or I may subtract the term. Okay, if I want to subtract, okay, it is subtract power of x comma j divided by factorial of j. So this is to compute the term. Okay, if the term is x power j divided by j factorial, okay, using this expression I can compute this term. The term is either added to the summation or subtracted to the summation. When I am going to add into this summation when I am going to subtract. It is decided by the position of the term, that is I. Okay, so I am formulating a condition if I, the position of the term, if the position of the term is, okay, let me mark the position of the term. So this is my first term, second term, third term and my fourth term. Okay, so if I have odd numbers of the term, that is 1 and 3, it is added. If I have even numbers of the term, that is 2 and 4, it is subtracted from the summation. Odd number of terms are added, even number of the terms are subtracted from the summation. Okay, how to find out whether it is odd number of the term or even number of the term? The position or number of the term is stored in I. By looking into the value of j, I may decide whether it is odd or even. Okay, how to find out I mod 2. Okay, so what this operation will fetch you, I is divided by 2 and it will return you the remainder value. Okay, if the remainder is not equal to 0, when even numbers divided by 2, definitely we are going to get the 0th value. If it is odd number, the remainder will not be the 0 value. If it is odd number of terms, we need to add the term. Okay, else if it is even number of term, it is 2 and 4, then it need to be subtracted from the summation. Okay, how to find out? Using the modulus sign, we are going to find the number of the term I is either even or odd. If it is odd, we are going to add. If it is even, we are going to subtract. Okay, so once if I come out of this for loop, definitely this sum will contain the summation of the sine series whose summation of the sine series is there in sum. We need to return the value of sum. How to return the value of sum? Return statement will return the value of the output variable, that is sum. We are returning the value of sum. See, the function is returning the float value. Sum is defined as the float value. When we use variables inside our program, before the variable is being used, the variable has to be declared first. Like the same, if we are using functions inside our program, before it is being used, it has to be declared first. Okay, no need to include the definition. Definition may be included afterwards, but the functions has to be declared before it is being used. Okay, see the function fact, it is used here. Okay, before it's used, it is declared here. Okay, so and then the definition is included later on after completing this sin x function. So like variable, if we use function, before use it has to be declared first. Later on inside the program, I may include its definition. This is declaration of the function. The curly brace to curly brace is definition of this function. So what is this function fact? It is going to calculate the factorial of the given value, that is a. Okay, if a is given, if a is equal to 3, what is factorial of a? It is 1 into 2 into 3. Repeatedly we are performing multiplication operation. Since I am repeating operation, I am making use of this for loop. Okay, so before that I am declaring a integer variable called fact, which is factorial of the given number. It is initialized by 1 and I am going to use a loop variable I. Okay, so inside for loop, I need to write the statement to compute this. Okay, that is f equal to, initially f is 1. Okay, to this 1 I keep on multiplying some value, that value is j. Okay, so initially value of j is 1, each time it is incremented by 1. So initially value of j is 1, each time it is incremented by 1. Okay, how long I need to increment? Until j is less than or equal to a. Okay, this j is less than or equal to a. Once I come out of this for loop, for this for loop I have not put the curly brace. If your control statement includes single statement, no need to put this inside a curly brace. Okay, so once I come out of this for loop, f contains factorial of the given number. So I need to return that factorial value, that is f. So return f. F contains factorial of the given number a. So see here, f is integer value, your function is returning a integer value. So using this function, I may able to calculate factorial of the given number, which is used when I am computing this term. What is the term? It is x power j divided by 3 factorial. So power function is inbuilt function which is used to compute this term x power j. This fact is a term which is used to compute factorial of the given number by calling this function, that is fact. So I have written factorial function to compute factorial, sin x function to compute the sine series of the given term, that is x. Okay, how to call this function to execute my sine series? That is from main function. Inside my main function, I am going to declare 4 different variable, that is float of x, the term whose sine series we are supposed to calculate, and q to hold the original value of x if it is converted into its corresponding radiant value. X is given in terms of degree and the sum whatever we are computing. Okay, and then int of n, that is total number of terms in this series. So x and n is input to this function. We need to get value of x and n from the user. For clarity, I have written the function prototype in blue color and the function definition in this black color. So starting with this main, inside main I have declared 4 variables x, q, s and n. Among those 4 variables, x and n is my input variable and s is my output variable. Okay, and then q is going to hold the value of x. Okay, once the value of x is given in terms of degree, which will be converted into its corresponding radiant value. Before conversion, original value of x is stored in q. See here, first I am getting the value of the term whose sine series we are supposed to calculate, that is x, and then that is float value. In this scanf statement, I am going to get value for this n, total number of terms in this series. For suppose if I calculate up to this, the total number of term is 4. Okay, and then I need to convert the value of x given in degree into its corresponding radiant value using this expression. Before conversion, I am storing the value of x in this q. Okay, and then I received input for this x and n from the user. Now I need to call this function sin x to compute the sine series of the given value x. How to call the function? That is sin x, and then if I need to call the function, I am passing 2 values as parameter, that is x whose sine series we are supposed to calculate and n, that is total number of terms. Okay, when I call the function, the control will be transferred here. It will compute the statement inside the function definition. It returns the value sum, which is summation of this sine series. Okay, so the function call will be, this function call will be replaced by the value what your function is going to return. So I may assign the value into variable. See here, the sin x function is going to return a float value. Once it returns the float value, it is stored in s, which is also the variable of the float data type. Okay, once the summation is stored in this float variable s, I need to print the value of s, that is my output. How to print? With this printf statement, I am printing the output value s. That is, what it will print is sign of this percentage f will be replaced by value of q. It is the original value of x given in terms of degree is equal to this percentage f will be replaced by the output value, that is s. Using this printf statement, I am printing the output value whatever your sin x function has returned. So let me summarize. I am using 3 functions in my program: main, fact and sin x. Okay, So from main I am calling the function sin x, which is going to compute the sine series of the given term x. When we give value for this x, it is in terms of degrees. Sin x is going to compute the summation of sine series of the term x given. Okay, and then fact is the function which is going to calculate factorial of the number given. From main, I will get the two input x and n. X is the term whose sine series we need to calculate. N is total number of terms. By giving this x and n as argument, I am calling this function sin x, which will calculate the sine series. Then it will return the value in S. Okay, and then the value of output value S is printed here.